We're going live.
Got it.
Got it.
All right. It is loading right now on my end, and we are going to be officially live.
Rock and roll.
All right, guys. We are officially live. And let's see. Let me shut my phone off. All right, guys. So welcome to Jackal's Corner. I would like to first start out by giving some shout outs to the people who make this possible. I want to give a shout out first and foremost to my oldest sponsor, Concert Culture. If you're ever in the need of entertainment, lighting, sounds, and you want to sound like those big bands we dream of being one day, these are the guys you hit up. These guys can take any band and give them an A+ sound and lighting. So give them some love. Hit up Matt Rios on Facebook, and he can link you up with what they can provide. I also want to give some love out to my second sponsor. These guys are my newest sponsor. They are Bronco Barbecue out in Alamo, Texas. If you know where the Walgreens is in Alamo, Texas, then you know where they're at because they're right across the street, right behind Kegs and Cans. And I know all my friends drink, so you know where Kegs and Cans are. So go give them some love. 100% believe in supporting the local scenes, and not just music and art, but also through businesses and stuff, because these businesses are what give us a place to be, to do our art. So I want to give love to them. And now I want to thank C.O.D. for coming on, and welcome, guys.
Right on, brother.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Heck yeah, man. So I know a lot of people down here know that I tell them all the time about how I loved the Corpus scene when I lived out there, and tell them about bands like Killamora and Periwinkle Massacre and all these bands like this. And I actually got the Periwinkle Massacre tattooed on my forearm.
Badass.
Nice.
So I remember when I got that, and Luna was like, I messaged him and I like, bro, you got to come to the tattoo shop. I'm actually getting tattooed right now with TPM. And they're like, no way. And I was like, yeah, they showed up and they're like, dude, you probably have to be the most hardcore fan we have. Like, you literally tattooed us on you. I was like, yeah, dude. But yeah, man. So tell me and my fan base a little bit about you guys, what you guys are up to and stuff like that.
Okay, I guess I'll start off first. My name's Donald Ledesma. I'm the lead guitar player and backup vocals, and I do one song vocals for the band C.O.D. I formed the band C.O.D. In 2019, in the beginning of June of 2019, and we all come from heavy metal, hardcore backgrounds, all of us, every single one of us in the band. So, and you know, we've been playing that for, you know, at least 20 years or so, and maybe longer, some of us. But as you can tell, you know, we're older cats out here. Yeah. But you know, I said, you know what, let's just start something. There was a lot of the guys here that are in the band now were kind of like in retirement. You know, we're just kind of like, we let it go. You know what I'm saying, for a little bit. And so what I did was like say, well, you know, I brought in Dollar Bill and I said, hey, brother, you know, you hadn't been playing, you know, for years or whatever. And I said, let's just start something, you know. And we ended up, you know, just kind of just messing around at first with some acoustical stuff. And, you know, I had my my other drummer back then was Robert Anthony, and he started drumming. So you know, so we just started forming this together, and we started making like rock music. We weren't so much into the metal. We decided to tone it down just a bit. And so we started putting it together in 2019. Lo and behold, of course, COVID came. And then, you know, we had to, you know, change everything. Everything started changing. We lost Anthony as drummer. Now, he didn't pass away or nothing. He just, you know, went on his way. So, you know, and then the band kind of went dormant. I had Jason as my bass player. You know, he's been with me since I did Advocate back in the day, you know, and I did, you know, Awkward Factor 8, and I did all those bands, you know, and it's just, you know, we were all in the thrash heavy metal scene. And so he said, yeah, I'll back off a little bit and let's just jam out. So anyway, so that happened. And then that's when we tried out, at least in 2020, we tried out at least 3 drummers, man. And I was playing drums actually for a while. I had to put my guitar down. I was like, you know what, we got to make this happen. So there I was, they're playing on my son's drums. And then finally, we get a call from Santos, I think at the time. He said, hey, or somebody told me, you know, this guy, TK. I said, well, we'll bring him in, brother. Let's try him out. And, you know, lo and behold, 2 years later, here he is, you know, and, you know, he's doing an amazing job for us, you know, phenomenal. And, you know, he's pushing himself really into what he's trying to do and getting himself out there with COD.
Hell yeah, man. And like I said, I mean, there's a lot of musicians and that's the thing I love about the of Corpus is that a lot of musicians just intermingle with bands that were and stuff like that. And it's a lot different than it is down here where I'm at. You get a lot of people, you get a lot of that hate, you know, you see a band succeeding and even if they're barely even got any kind of success, you got bands that are like, oh, well, it's because of this and that and all this. I'm like, no, it's because they worked their ass off to get to where they're at. That's why they're getting the notoriety that they're getting because they bust their ass. You know,
back in the back in the days here at Corpus, it was kind of like that, like way early in the days when, you know, back in Zero's days, it was real. Everybody just went to watch you to see you fuck up, I guess you could say.
Yeah.
I mean, but yeah, it's different now. Now everybody's been around with each other for we're all old now, you know what I mean? So it's like brotherhood now.
It is. And actually, I do want to give a shout out to Zeros. Man, I miss that place.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, me too. I love that place. It was really cool.
That was our home, you know? There was a place where rockers and metalheads could be rockers and metalheads.
Exactly. And it was a small venue, man. It was a small venue, but I mean, it was packed and it made you seem like you were in a big old concert sometimes, you know, especially with Leon and his he had stacks of just PAs and all kinds of stuff and they're just pumping that thing on full blast when you know he made you sound good.
Oh, absolutely, man. I miss it, man. But yeah, man, I remember going there all the time and I loved their jukebox there because they had nothing but metal in that thing.
Slayer, brother.
You're Slayer, Anthrax, you know, it was awesome.
Yeah, it was. And I remember one guy came in and he was like, oh, you don't have no Tejano? He's like, no, this is Zeros. Like, what are you talking about?
Tejano.
Right. I love that place, man.
That's right down the street, man.
Right. I would tell people that all the time. I tell people that down here all the time about that place. I'm like, man, we had a place that was actually our home. Yeah. We were kept comfortable.
But a lot of the musicians around here, as far as us, even as well, a lot of us got our starts at that place, man. It was really amazing. I mean, that place kind of kickstart the scene here in Corpus, I would say, I think, you know, so at least in my days it did.
Yeah, it was one of the oldest venues that was in Corpus, that's for sure. I believe they opened like in the 60s or something like that, right?
I think it's,
I'm not too sure on that. I wasn't alive at that time.
Yeah.
I was, but the later part.
Right.
But it was I mean, it's still there, bro. It's still there and it's still a bar, but it's a different kind of venue now. I think it's like for, you know, I guess surfer people or no. I think it's a hangout place because a friend of mine told me the other day, he goes, man, you could just go over there and hang out. The beer's still inexpensive. You can sit there and just chill out and drink a few beers. Of course, it's not a metal scene, but it's just like a nice little hangout bar now. So I guess that's what whoever made it into that now.
Yeah, next time I visit Corpus, I'll probably stop in over there.
Right on.
You need to get a petition.
All the memories gonna flood back. And I loved that place. But yeah, because I remember I think the first band I ever saw there was actually Killamora. And that was back with like back when Izzy was in the band and all them. And oh man, it was so amazing. I just blew my mind. I was like, wow, this venue is so great. Yeah. And then you had the outside and everybody out there toking up and partying and having a good time. Yeah, man, it was a great place.
Yeah. That outside part of the bar was just as crazy as the inside, man.
Yo.
But there was a time with Killamore, I do believe. Izzy and Tony and all them, a bunch of great musicians as well.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Izzy played it in one of my bands, an Advocate, when I was later on He was ended up being my second guitar player. He's an amazing
Oh yeah.
lead guitar player, man. He taught me a lot of shit. You know what I'm saying? So it's like,
Yeah.
he's the one that it's like it was my band. I wanted to say this too. It was my band, right, that I put together and everything. And I was like, all right, we're gonna be metal. And it wasn't as metal as when Izzy came in. When Izzy came in, it became freaking metal, bro. Like, I mean, it was heavy. He brought in the heaviness to it, and then I was like, wait a minute, I might get kicked out of my own band. He was better. I mean, he was just an awesome, amazing musician. You know what I'm saying? It's like, how do you compete with that? And you know what I did? I just did as the best as I could, and I said, you know what? I'll learn from you. And I'm that guy. I'm that guy. If I don't know it, I'll try to learn it best I can.
Absolutely, absolutely. And that's one of the good cool thing about like the older musicians that I like to hang with is they have that mentality. It's not a threat when somebody's like, hey, this is the way to do it. It's like, okay, yeah, that's good because it's saving me time for trying to have to figure how the fuck to do that. Exactly. I mean, like once you get to a certain age, we get older, and the older we get, we just realize, you know what? Let's take the easier steps because we don't got time for this shit, just down and figure it out. If somebody could show us directly, okay, that's how you do it. Like, let's do it. Okay, cool. It's no more ego now. It's just, I love to play and that's what I'm doing.
I was trying to learn for sure. That's one. Just always learning.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I watch all the other drummers around here all the time. I'm like, man, if I can pick up one thing off of all of them, I'll be good.
Yeah. I mean, it was just like starting when we started COD. That's when I ended up picking up. I didn't have another guitar player, so I called. I saw Leo. We jammed out one time with him at the Black Monk, right? And then I remember he came up to me because we play on Jacksons, right? He said, "Oh, dude, you got a Jackson like mine, badass." So anyway, I kind of remembered him a few months later, and then I sent him an instant message, and then he didn't reply. It took about a month, and then after a while, he finally saw it. He goes, he texted me. He goes, yeah, I'll go try out. He goes, man, I was already in retirement, bro. I wasn't gonna play no more. I was done. I was done. And then I was like, just come on, let's give it a shot. You know what? And it worked out. Leo's a phenomenal guitar player as well. He's got his. You know what? If you listen to like Judas Priest, the Stained Glass, all the old riffs, even the Painkiller album, just the way they're jamming their leads. Leo's that guy. He pulls his leads like that, and he's got his sound. He's got an amazing sound.
He really studies his leads. Like he works on them. He ain't just kind of a lead that's put together. He really gets into it and tries to figure out a lead that goes with the part that's being played there. And he does a great job of that as well. Mm-hmm. As well as does Don. Don does the same thing. Yeah. And then I'm always back to going, hey, do this.
Yeah. Well, go ahead, brother.
Yeah, I mean, and that's the thing is like Corpus really does have a lot of amazing drummers. Like I freaked out. Like you got John Luna, man, that dude's a freaking beast. You have Aiden Peña, you have Rob. So
even Fidel came back.
Yeah, Fidel would always blow my mind, dude.
OJ, I mean, there's a bunch of great drummers around here. I mean, even what's his name? Salazar, what's his name? Brandon, another amazing drummer from I can't remember the band anymore, but yeah,
absolutely, man, absolutely. I used to trip out on drummers, and I've always told John Luna, I'm like, man, you were a freaking beast, but that guy's the most humble guy.
He is.
He's like, I'm all right.
Yeah, he is.
Actually, I just barely met him not too long ago when they were doing the Tony Gomez Christmas thing.
Yeah.
And I finally got to actually meet him, and I was just blown away. The guy's like just a machine, just solid, like in the pocket. Yeah. I was just like, man, that guy's amazing.
He is.
I was like, man. Yeah. Let me buy you a drink.
Hey, you know which drummer really freaked the hell out of me, blew me away? The drummer from Scar of the World.
OJ.
Yeah, that's OJ. Okay, that's OJ. Yeah. Oh my God.
Oh yeah, my God. OJ, he's amazing.
That dude, I was just watching him, dude, and my mouth just kept on just dropping. I was like, damn, how does he pull that off, man? But you know what? He does it.
Yeah, he's amazing.
Mm-hmm.
Oh shit.
Definitely, man. But that's the thing about Corpus, man. There's so much talent there. And one of the things I like about down here is there's so much talent down here. Like it's just it's insane how much talent is down here in the valley. It's really crazy. And I meet so many musicians that are just, I'm like, why aren't you signed yet, bro? Like,
Right.
what the fuck? Like,
Hey,
I have this buddy down here. His name's Jay Moniz. And this guy is, oh my God, he is phenomenal at what he does. He does, he's really into like the outlaw country and stuff like that. So he does like a lot of Johnny Cash and stuff like that. I've never heard a person sing Johnny Cash and sound spot on
Wow.
to Johnny Cash.
Sweet.
Yeah, like he's so good at what he does, but even then, and then when he sings his originals, I'm just like, damn, dude, this stuff I would love to hear on the radio nowadays, you know?
Yeah.
He's so great, but he doesn't fuck around though. He busts his ass to do what he's got to do.
Exactly.
You know,
Yeah.
that's
For
why
sure.
he gets paid. And I told him that because a lot of people get all, oh, but you know, this guy, he gets paid and all this. I said, because he busts his ass.
Yeah.
That's why.
Yeah.
If you give a client what they're wanting and above, they're going to be like, here's some money, man. Yeah, for sure. You know?
Yep.
And that's what I tell them. But I'm really impressed with a lot of the young cats out here too, because they got their mind in the right spots, you know? They're focused on it and they're like, this is my dream, this is my passion. I'm not going to let nothing stop it. And they're so great at what they do. There's a band called Monodyssey, and these guys are freaking amazing, man. Like the first time I heard them, I thought of Mastodon.
Oh wow. Okay.
They're in the valley.
Yeah.
So they're from the valley. Badass.
Yeah, they're from the valley. They're in Mission, Texas, but
Awesome.
those guys are so crazy good. Their music on Spotify, and they're just so into what they do, and they're so tight about it too.
Right.
They practice, they do their stuff, they do their due diligence.
Right.
And that's why I'm like, see, that deserves to be pushed out there because you're doing your work, you know, you're not just letting the music play out there and you're like, oh yeah, I got a band, you know.
Yeah.
You're pushing your band, you're doing your work, you're doing the job.
Yeah.
So yeah, I love those guys, but there's a lot of talent down here. There's a really
Jaden
cool
Baker.
Huh?
Jaden Baker.
Yeah.
You know Jaden, right? You know Jaden Baker?
Yeah.
Hangs out with Sons of Things. Man, that guy is freaking amazing. He blows my mind every time I see his videos. I'm like, Jesus. That kid is amazing, dude.
Yeah, dude, it trips me out, bro. The way they are, the way bands are, and then these younger guys that are coming out, I'm just like, what the fuck, man? Like, sometimes it makes the older cats be like, why the fuck do I even try?
What's his name? What's his name?
I say that all the time. My bad. I say that all the time. I watch people. I'm like, Jesus, man. All right, time to hang them up. It's the love and passion of it all. You know what I mean? It's like, you know, it's like I tell people, I say, man, when you're on stage, man, every problem that you have, everything that's going on in your life is totally out the fucking door, man. It's like you're just on stage to perform and have a great time, and man, everything goes, man. You just gotta let it flow out, man. And it's
absolutely.
That's a true statement. That's a damn true statement because you know what? I mean, we're all working people. We all just work our regular jobs, and you know we bust ass all week long, right? And like TK was saying, you know all the crap that you go through all week long, right? And then by the time practice day comes or rehearsal day, I mean we'll play for an hour, 2 hours, and then you know what? Right after practice, I feel like a big weight lifted off of my shoulders. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like you get to just jam and just kind of release whatever you have there, you know, as far as anger or whatever, you know, just and you get to
most definitely
get to throw it out there.
Then we argue in practice, and then no.
Yeah. No. We're a bunch of jokesters, man, brother. We I swear to God, man, we get together and as soon as we not just our ADD that we have going on in the band, because every band's like that. You try to talk and you try talking, you know, it's like shut the fuck up. You try to tell them to be quiet, you know, when somebody's always trying to talk, right? So we have really bad ADD in our band. So but you know, a lot of times we'll just throw funny stuff at each other, and we're always constantly joking and laughing, man. I mean, it's already been what 2 years with TK, and that's all we do is joke and laugh, you know. But there is a seriousness to it as well, you know. When it comes down to when you're going to make a new song, that's when we actually our funniness goes away. We just kind of zone in, You know what I mean? So we have to zone into what we're looking for, as far as like sound, music, or however, it's going to be, and break it down into either simplicity or try not to make it as too, technical as possible, because sometimes when you go a little too much technical, it kind of throws off the vibe that you're trying to put out, especially on rock. It's not metal.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean? So metal, you can get away with that, all day long. But with rock, you got to make sure that you kind of layer it perfectly. You know what I'm saying? And it has to be that way. It's just like blues, man. If you don't play it right, it's kind of hard to put all that together. It's hard.
100%.
Yeah, absolutely. I absolutely agree. I mean, and that's it. That's why I tell people, like with metal, if things mess up on that, it's easy to fix that. But with rock, it's a little different. I mean, and especially with rockers, because people that are old school rockers, man, they want their music sounding right. When they're going to see a show, man, they are some of the most brutal fuckers ever, man. You would think the metalheads would be the brutal ones, where metalheads are like cuddly teddy bears, and the rockers are the ones that are like, man, fuck that that part right there, you kind of messed up there, and they'll pinpoint it and they'll tell you.
Yeah, exactly.
I've seen them do it. I'm like, what the fuck, guy?
Especially with covers, you know what I'm saying? We try not to do covers. We hate it. We don't like to do them.
Don't like them at all.
But we'll throw one out every once in a while or whatever. If it's a fun one, we'll throw it out. But it's that's one thing that's hard to do. And if we do a cover, we do it our way. We do it in our own style. We try not to do it exactly like the way the song is, because people are so used to it. But if you throw a little twist in it, or just kind of try to make it a little bit, I'm not going to say better than the original, because you can't do that. It's almost hard to do that. But just to throw it out there so people can kind of enjoy it, to where they don't frown upon it, and then you have of course the guys with the resting
You missed that part.
the resting bitch face, that's what they have. They're like, there's always those are the guys that you have to kind of, we're this group, we're this band, man. We love everybody, and we support every single musician out there. We don't never go like this when we're watching shows. We're always like tapping out, going up to the stage, just giving them the love that they deserve. You know what I'm saying? And because even if they're just starting, like TK just had his birthday bash here a couple of weeks ago. We had some kids up there. It actually you were talking about Mr. Luna. Well, he's got the Deftones cover band, right? So the lead singer, his son is playing he's playing guitar. So, and his son did an amazing job. These kids just started, man. They're playing on these little amps, brother. Little bitty amps. And they tore it up. They did a great job, man. You know what I'm saying?
I know for a fact that Hector's probably just like, fuck yeah,
Hell yeah.
Like, I know it. Like
it was kind of funny because when they were setting up, I was like, they had all their amps like right in the front of the stage. And I was like, hey, you might want to move those back so that way you can move around a little bit. You know what I mean? Because they have like you wouldn't be in the garage. You know what I mean? They're just like kind of like, no, put it back.
Yeah.
And my nephew's son is the one who plays drums for them as well.
Mm-hmm.
And, they're called Centipede and
Centipede,
yeah. And so I was doing my show, and like I said, and so I was like, man, let's put them on the show, man. Let's give them their first show, you know what I mean? And hook them up, because everybody's got to get their start somewhere, right?
Absolutely. And that's a great mentality to have, because I've met people that are like old school rockers and metalheads and all that, and they won't do that for them. They're like, nobody did it for me. I was like, well, obviously somebody did, because you gigged. Like, obviously somebody did it for you,
right?
Go ahead.
Yeah, I get irritated with that type of mentality. I tell people all the time, we're the older ones. That it's our job to make sure that these guys get ushered in properly and get their stuff going. Somebody gave us a shot. We have to give them a shot too.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And that's how we learned.
The greatest piece of advice I got as a drummer was a guy named Chris Lewis. He passed away a while back. But one of the greatest pieces of advice he gave me was like, he says, TK, when you're on stage and your singer's talking in between songs, shut the fuck up. Don't play nothing. Let your singer do what he's got to do. You know what I mean? Let him talk. Let him do it. Don't be out back there banging your drums and hitting bass drum and slamming your snare or whatever. He says, be professional, dude. You know, and I take that to heart because I try not to do any of that stuff, you know, because it makes sense. You know what I mean? You got to be professional about it.
Yeah. Especially during sound check. You know what I mean? 'Cause,
Yes.
you know, and the kids didn't know. They didn't know what sound
Yeah.
check was. They were just trying to figure, and they were kind of saying, well, wait a minute, one at a time, and then boom, boom. You know, but that's how you learn. That's how I learned. You know, when I first went up there as my first gig I ever did, I didn't know what the heck was that. You know, who was micing me up? I thought I was just playing straight out of my freaking amp. You know what I mean? I didn't know.
Yeah.
So, but this is how you learn. These are learning processes for these for new people that are just starting out too. You know, they kind of don't know what it is to be on stage. And there's people like us, like show them the love and show them which way to go, you know, which direction, you know, walk over here, don't trip over that line. Just make sure you move it over there because you're going to trip over it if you decide to jump or whatever. I mean, of course, we see accidents on stage all the time, but
we're too old. We don't jump no more.
Exactly.
Right.
If I fall down, we won't jump.
I tell my wife all the time, she loves it because she says, when I come back home from a show, I'm all pumped up still.
Yeah.
And then when I wake up in the morning, I'm like, oh, fuck.
That was a good show.
Yeah.
That was a good show.
Reminds you real quick your age.
Yeah. That's
felt young when you was going in there and felt old as shit waking up.
You're old as shit.
Yeah.
But the universe is like you. The universe is like, you thought you were young. No, you're old.
No more.
You can't move the wrong way. You know what I mean? You get up and you're like, oh shit, a muscle.
Yep.
But we have a bass player. His name is Jason, and he's been with us since the beginning of C.O.D., right? And so he's recently he decided to drop the band because he had to move to another state. So it's just one of those things. It was his time to go, you know, to move. And luckily we have Santos in there. You know, Santos is doing great job, you know, as far as bass, and took over. And I mean, he just fell right into place. It's crazy how when he has to go. I mean, he's still around us right now. He hasn't left yet, you know, but he still hangs around with us, whatever we're jam out. And it's weird how, you know, Santos kind of just fell into place and just took right in the same steps as he's in. You know what I mean? Nice. He goes, I'm not going to play it exactly like him, but I mean, I'll get close and I'm going to throw my vibe. I say, hey, dude, throw your vibe in it. You know what I'm saying? If whatever you can do to make it better, or whatever, if you think you could put a little different key into it or whatever, dale, try and go for it. You know, so I mean, we always try to find different things to make it better as far as a band and musicians. You know, do we have our bad times on stage? Yeah, man, that crap happens. We you know, when we're jamming, sometimes, you know, you hit the wrong pedal and then bling bling and here we go. You know what I mean? It's and then it kind of falls like dominoes. Don't you hate that crap? It's like once one of them goes down, then everybody else starts kind of falling into place. Boom, 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 and then the whole song goes to crap. I mean, it happens, man. It happens to everybody. And you know, of course we try not to do that, but you know, you never know, man. It is what it is, you know. But as a band, you know, we've made 3 music videos already. You know, we've put out 3 songs already out on Spotify already, I believe. And you know, we're just trying to push it as far as we can take it. You know what I mean? As far as a rock band, you know, just get out there. When we go out there, we just have a great time. You know, we Dollar Bill's a great front man, just with the people, getting everybody, you know, involved in the music, and we just try to make it as best as we can for everybody.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely. And that's a good thing, man. I mean, that's the good thing about music, is that there's no real age limit on it. You know, music vibes no matter what. I mean, so I dig that. And a lot of people don't understand it unless you're a musician. Then you get it, that it's not just, oh, this is what I pay my bills with. This is my passion. This is what I love to do.
From the heart.
So it's, you know, some people have gyms that they go to and work out. I mean, musicians have instruments that we jam the fuck out, and that's how we release our stress.
Yep.
You know,
especially especially in hot, sweaty garages.
Oh, definitely.
In a room with a bunch of guys sweating. Yes, I love it.
It's like there is this band that I had on last week, and they're a new band. They're young, you know, they're starting out, and one of my cameras failed, so I had them both. I had all 3 of them sitting on the couch that I'm on now.
Okay.
During the interview, and they're like, "Oh, that's a small couch." I said, "Let me tell you something. If you don't get any else advice about bands, know this: you better get close and comfortable because that's how it is when you're on tour. That's the way it is, man.
Mhm.
You
Yeah.
don't have this big luxury rooms and stuff. It's not like the movies. You're sleeping in your van and eating from McDonald's,
Exactly. And sharing.
right?
For real. I tell you what, one day, Sons of Texas were here on they were playing there at the House of Rocks.
Yeah.
And me and my wife had made a big old enchilada casserole. And so we were gonna go to the show that night. And I said, well, shit, we had a bunch of it left over. I said, well, wrap it up and take it to the guys. So I told Jesse, I was like, hey, Jess, my wife gave you all some casserole. And he's like, dude, I can't stand fucking McDonald's no more, dude. He goes, I'm sick of it, bro. I said, I hear you,
Fuck
man.
yeah.
It's so funny, man.
Yeah,
I love
man.
it.
Yeah, man. Jess is cool as hell, man.
Yeah.
Back when I lived in Corpus, they had they had played Corpus, but they went under their other name, Texas. And so that night, because they played at back then it was Theo's, now it's Rich's, but
Right.
they played there, and I lived in the apartments right across the street from Theo's. So I told them, hey, you know what, guys, we've been partying. You guys just crashed at my place. And man, dude, we wake up the next day. It looked like Jonestown the day after, man. Everybody just crashed the fuck out on the floor. Oh, it was so great.
Nice.
But I would always do that. Anytime out of town bounds would go to Theo's, I'd be like, hey, stay at my place, man. Shit beats sleeping in your fucking van, you know?
For real.
Mhm.
I'm paying a
So-
shitload of money.
Right?
Yeah, they ain't cheap no more. I'll tell you that.
No, it isn't.
It's expensive now in the hotel rooms. Oh my God. I mean, I can't believe how much they went up. I remember we used to just, even just to go to San Antonio or wherever, not too long ago, it was like what, $80, $70, whatever. You could stay just not a 4-star, of course, but whatever. You can get away with that. Now, those same places, $150, $200. You know what I mean? It's
Yeah.
like, what? It's the same. You haven't even changed the beds. They're still the same beds. Still
You're
got
like,
the
I
same-
know. You're like, I know it's the
Like,
same
my
bed
gum's
because
still
I
here.
put that stain right there.
Yep, exactly.
But that's like I'm like when I'd have to travel and stuff like that. I get my stuff through like Priceline and all that kind of stuff like that because they're massively cheaper if you do it that route.
Right.
Like some rooms are up to like 60% off.
Yep.
So I only travel that way. I'm like, fuck that. Otherwise, I couldn't travel, man. I'd be like, damn.
We did that last year. I shot a documentary in Oregon, right? And we were gone for 10 days, right? So, and that whole time, there you go, Priceline. I was looking at hotels.com, all those. I was using all those apps, man, because we were grabbing rooms at I think $78, $68. We really got a really nice hotel in Las Vegas. Big old, I mean, it was a huge room, almost bigger than my house, for $65, brother. I couldn't believe it. But we got there so late. It was like 8 o'clock at night or 9 o'clock. By the time we sat down to eat a freaking hot dog and a Coke, man. And by the time it's time to go to bed, and we had to get up and leave the next morning.
Mhm.
So it wasn't like we weren't there to vacation. It was just we're out there working. So it's just one of those things, man.
Yeah, like I booked a room in Louisiana right on Bourbon Street.
Right.
Like my balcony looked down on it. So
Right.
and dude, I paid like $112 for 3 nights.
Wow.
There.
Yeah, that's just cool.
I was like,
how the hell you
Actress or what?
because like I say, I use Priceline a lot, so I get points and stuff like that. So I get different rankings and stuff like that in it. So I get different deals. So they give me, I get really kick-ass deals. But the best way to do it, if you use that, is just hit the Express, because the Express one, you're gonna get it the cheapest. And sometimes you get like a 5-star motel
right
for like $120, you know?
Yep, that's true.
Better keep that in mind.
Yeah.
Especially when you go to San Antonio, we do a direction in San Antonio, or if we can to the Valley. We're trying to branch out as far as us playing live. We've already played Corpus, a few times already, so we're already ready to get out to either the Valley or San Antonio.
Yeah.
I think we're going to reach out to Trish there. I don't know if she's with Heavy Metal Productions. I don't know if you've
Yeah,
talked to her
Trish is
before. She's got a lot of people, man, that she puts out there, and she does a great job, of promotion. So she promotes a lot of people out there in San Antonio, getting the bands out there. So if anybody can get a hold of her, Trish there from Heavy Metal Productions, she does a great job, and I think we're gonna hook up with her so we can try to get something going up there.
Yeah.
And then I think there's a place in the Valley, right? Where's a place that I saw a band play down there about 2 years ago?
There's a really cool venue, and I'm gonna talk to the owner about it and see. I'm gonna see if I can get you there. It's Cinere. This is an old historic theater. So Shattered Suns played there. El Niños played there.
Sons of Texas and Shattered Sun there that day when they played out there. Me and my wife went out to check them out. Really cool place. Do not eat at Ponchos over there.
Yeah. Oh man.
Ponchos, man. We went into Ponchos thinking it was like the Ponchos over here. Holy shit. It was way different. I'm like, this blows.
Right. Yeah.
But the venue, I love that theater. It was really cool. I liked it a lot.
Yeah. There's a really cool place down here also. I might actually be able to get you in. It's called 5x5 Brewing. Okay. It's a veteran owned and operated
nice.
brewery.
Nice.
And these dudes are cool as hell. They believe in paying the musician when they come out.
Good.
They go all out. So it's very cool. They're very cool people.
Awesome.
And they make a fucking great beer.
I bet.
I have to try them all.
They have one called 40 millimeter, and that thing tastes. If you like black coffee, you'll love this because it tastes exactly like black coffee.
Wow, a darker beer, huh?
Yes, and then they have like a Burnett, which is like an Irish red,
right?
And
blonde.
Stuff like that. So they got a lot of good choices with their stuff. So
nice.
But yeah, if you're ever out, I'll talk to the guy George Rice. He's the George Rice on Facebook. That's his name. He's one of the owners, and he can do all the booking and all that.
Yeah, I mean, brother, when we started playing, I think we got up to with TK. I think when you started with, how many songs we had? About 8 of them or 9?
I started off about 7 or 8, somewhere around there.
7 or 8, and now we're up to like 13, 14. We can play an hour and 15 minutes of all original music. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Of course, we won't do it if we're playing with 2 other bands or 3 other bands. Of course not. But it's we have a lot of material. A lot. And actually, we're moving towards new material. We're kind of putting all that other stuff back behind us because some of it's almost 2 years old already. So we're kind of pushing forward into a different. We're going to a faster tempo. So we're moving up our speed just a little bit more, getting more of a rock, kind of jamming like this. You know what I mean?
Punkish rock kind of a more on the up of the rather than the just kind of groove. And it's like, let's go, man. It's gonna get going. You know what I mean,
dude?
Pretty good.
Actually, I was showing my wife y'all's music the other night, and we actually were watching the music video. I believe it's called with Little Whiskey Bottles.
Little Whiskey Bottles, yeah.
And I love that video, man. It's so great. I'm like,
thank you.
Fuck yeah, dude.
That's so funny. Yeah, hey, well, Don's the one who shoots all our videos.
I do all the videos. Yeah,
Don does all our videos right there.
Yeah,
dude, freaking amazing. You guys did a great job on it, and the song is amazing too. I was telling my wife, man, I can see Triple H come out to that song or something.
Yep. Yeah, I mean, we tried to put it out on Facebook, but unfortunately, Facebook said no. It's no policy. You're making people drink beer or drink alcohol, and I was like, come on, man. I've seen worse out there. But
oh yeah,
definitely. It's we tried to get it out there, and we did actually. We put it out there still, but we did the YouTube version of it. And we try to make that skit funny. Of course, we got everybody dressed up, and then we went to the straight up 70s on that, and we try to make it fun. You know what I mean? So, and we had a blast shooting that whole day.
It was crazy. It was tons of fun. I don't know. I never saw myself as a girl putting on makeup, and I was just like, man. And they were trying to do my makeup. They're like trying to make me look pretty, and I was like, oh hell no, you ain't gonna make me look pretty. I said, I'm gonna be like a 1970s cantinera, man. Let's keep going. I said, give me some give me some green and gold and
Yeah.
blue. And I
Yeah.
said, give me a Sharpie.
Yeah.
I put on
I
my
love it,
lipstick and I
man.
went down a bumpy ass road. I was like, just all over the place, man. I came out of the restroom and everybody goes, "Oh my God." I said, nailed it.
Oh, damn, that's great.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was a lot of fun.
Yeah. There's on YouTube, on if you go to our COD page, there's the making of. So we got like about a maybe 10-minute little skit there of the making of that music video, and it shows all behind the scenes and how much we
Yeah.
were just laughing and laughing through the whole thing. So it's fun to watch. After, I mean, you went to watch the music video and then go back and check out the behind the scenes. It's pretty hilarious.
Dude.
It's just that's how much fun we have. We
When
have
you,
yeah,
when,
man.
you go, when you go look up the COD, you got to put C.O.D.Band.
band. Yeah.
You got to
Yes.
put band behind it because if you put COD, it comes up Call of Duty. Can I say
Yeah.
that? But
Yeah.
yeah. But it comes up like that, so you got to put C.O.D.Band on there, and then everything will start popping up for you.
Yep. Yeah. I think we have what, 2 music videos up there, or 3?
We have a few. Well, we have a few live shows, and then
Yeah.
then,
Yeah.
yeah, I
And
think
then-
the 2 deals or whatever. I'm not too sure what's all up there, but
And then we made one called The Pain. So that one is that music video is it's a dedication to Dollar Bill's son, Surf, and he had passed away. So this is what brought Bill out of retirement, because he was in a real down stage. And then I said, you know what, let's just jam, bro. Let's get back into it, whatever, let's get you out of that mode. And I ended up writing the song for him, and then with TK, and then all the guys kind of put their pieces together, and I just made the root of the song, but they actually did their pieces and added a lot of flavor to it.
real powerful
Yeah.
song.
Yeah. So once we did it, I said, you know what? He says, you sing it, Don. I was like, okay. So on the music video, you'll see me singing most of the song of The Pain. And then what we did was we dedicated, really, because right after that, COVID had just fit, it was ending, whatever, and we lost so many people, man, a lot of musicians too. So
Yeah.
in the video, all the pictures you see of the people in there are all the people that have passed away, that are actually relatives of ours, my dad, his dad, folks that are all in the video, friends that we know, they donated their photos so we can put in the music video. I mean, it's a sad song in a sense, but it's reality, and we just tried to put it on film to where everybody can see it, just to see the realism of it, and then so they can experience it, the music as well. The music is what makes it come to heart, and when we play it live, it brings a lot of tears to a lot of people's eyes, and especially Dollar Bill, it's very emotional. It can be a very emotional song, but and we love that song. It's just one of those things. That's why we say, you know what, let's make a music video, and that's what we did. We did a music video for that. So if you guys check that out, please give us a thumbs up on that one if you like it.
Yeah. And tell them again where they can find that and all that.
Well, what's crazy about that video is when Don was shooting it, we didn't realize, because me and Don had never met each other up until this band. And when he was shooting the video, I said, "Man, where were you at when you shot the cemetery scene?" And he was explaining it to me, and I was like, "Dude, my dad." So his dad and my dad are like right next to each other, pretty much. We didn't even know that. We were like, "Holy shit!" And I didn't recognize that until I saw the video, and I'm like, "Dude, what a trip!"
Yeah, it's a mausoleum. It's a mausoleum. So my dad's up here on top, and then his dad's like almost right next door to where my dad's at. I didn't even realize that, until he told me. And then so now when he goes and sees his dad, he goes, "Hey," I said, "Hi to your dad." And I said, "Hey," I said, "Hi to your dad." And we'll fix the flowers and stuff. It's a sad thing, but you know what? It's respect, and that's what we do. We respect the ones who have passed away and respect each other, and that's what music's all about. So I mean, you can find our music, and they're on C.O.D.Band. They're on YouTube. You can find us on Spotify. Our music's there. We have, I think, 2 or 3 songs there. We're going to record some more. Actually, we got 3 of them that we're going to be coming up. We have 2 brand new songs we're going to record, and then there's this one that we've been playing called Chupacabra, right? So so that song, everybody just loves that song when we play it. And it's just got this stranglehold feel to it, in a sense. But we're gonna throw it out there, and put it on recording, and then we'll have those up on Spotify as well. But people can find us there too, and even on Facebook. We'll just go C.O.D.
This year, though, for sure.
You'll
find those songs and videos this year for sure. So
most definitely. I enjoy the fact that you guys are doing what you're doing, and I do want to get you down here. I like having Corpus bands come to the Valley.
Nice.
I mean, I love that, man. It gives me a feeling of
Yeah.
home again.
Heck
You
yeah.
know, it's just
Appreciate
that
it.
I've noticed all the different places I've been to see the local scenes of different places. They all have their own vibe. It's like a different feel.
Right.
You know, when
Right.
you're at a show, and it took a while for me to get to a point where I felt like, yeah, this is home with the Valley. You know,
Right.
because Corpus is the place that I love it so much there. The music scene was just so beautiful. The venues are so cool. The venue owners are awesome. You know,
Very much.
Richard Nunes, man, that guy. Back when I was there, when I had my first heart attack living over there, that dude was there for me, man. Hardcore,
Nice.
hardcore.
Wow.
He made sure I got my meds paid for and everything taken care of, and
Wow.
had
That's
my back,
fantastic,
man.
man.
So I love that guy, and I always will. Like, and that guy is a real motherfucker out there. He's not,
Nice.
you know. I know there's a lot of people who own venues, and they're not all about it really, but that guy's really about the community and being there for them. You know,
Well,
so
he's
that's really
actually getting
cool.
ready. Well, he may be. We were talking to him. He may be sponsoring my son here pretty soon, or Rich's may be sponsoring my son here pretty soon.
Very
Yeah.
good,
Yeah,
very
man.
good.
Yeah. TK's son's a professional boxer there. He's working his way up, man. He's done some pay-per-view already, and
Yeah.
he's been pushing his way up. He's a local favorite here in Corpus Christi, old Mr. Crawford there, look at that. So Travis
Yeah.
Crawford, he's kicking butt and taking names, brother. I mean, he's doing a beautiful, amazing job when he's boxing. I mean, I love to watch him box, and TK is
Yeah.
very, very proud of his son.
Yeah, but it's nerve-wracking watching that boy fight. I'm like, Jesus, move.
I watch all the videos you post of him fighting. I'm like, yes.
Yeah,
Pretty cool, man.
great, man. I remember he had a fight in New York a few months ago, and it was crazy on how many watch parties there were all over the place. And like we were watching on Facebook, and there were so many watch parties. I was like, man, this is pretty cool, man, and it made me feel good. I'm a proud of his dad, man.
Oh yeah,
For sure,
man.
100%.
He's
That's my
doing it.
baby.
That's the thing.
So,
Yeah, man.
but,
That's it. I mean, that's a good thing to be proud of your son. I mean,
yeah,
that shows that he had dedication and worked his way up to that, and
right.
so that's great. I mean, any father would be proud of a son like
Yeah,
this, and doing it. He's chasing his dreams, and I mean,
right.
that's amazing. That's
Yeah,
amazing.
I can be beyond proud of him, man. I couldn't. I mean, stuff that he's doing nowadays is kind of it trips me out, but it just kind of like I just couldn't be more proud. You know what I mean? But I tell you what, it's hard to watch those fights, man. It's like I'm like sitting there biting my nails and just and then after like 2 rounds, I'm walking and pacing, and then after that, it's like all right, watching the fight, I'm like Jesus, man. But it's cool, you know what I mean? It's I mean he's doing what he loves, and it's fucking I mean, he's kicking ass at it. So
Yeah.
I mean, what can you say? I can't tell him no. He's his own man. You know what I mean? So
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. And that's the thing, though, is that he is using his talent in a good way. He is doing a good thing, and being that I lived in Corpus, I remember, there was a lot of kids always in and out of juvies and shit like that. And this guy, he's not that guy. He's being a positive light and doing his thing, and he's actually bringing a great look to Corpus,
right.
So
Yeah,
that's
it's
a good
really
thing,
cool.
because I mean Corpus gets a lot of bad news all the time,
Yeah,
man.
real. Right. I remember we like the third largest fat person in the world or something.
Right? Like, what the fuck,
Kind
man?
of focus on you, man.
Hey, speak for yourself, Codon.
I wasn't talking about you, son. I'm bad.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah. But
I trip out every time I look on my Facebook. I see this and that happen. I'm like, what the fuck, man?
For real. Don't go to Peter Piper, man.
yeah.
Man,
Wow.
Yeah.
crack me up, man. I'm like, damn.
It's
You're
crazy.
safer at the bar.
But it's true what you said. It's he's bringing a positive sense into Corpus Christi.
Right.
He's gonna. I personally believe he's gonna put Corpus Christi on the map again.
Yeah.
As far as
Right.
remember how we had Selena, and then
Yeah.
I think that Travis is gonna do this. he's an amazing young man, and he was at our show at the last show with TK's family. His whole family actually were on stage. They were all musicians. So he comes from a musical family. They all are out there, creativeness, right? Creativeness. So that's what they do. And then now his son, is an amazing boxer. He's
Yeah.
kicking ass and taking names. And I think he's just
Okay.
he's gonna do something positive for Corpus Christi, I give him much props, much love for that, because
Thank you.
he is the man right now, and all we do is support, brother, and we're supporting each other because we're family, not just 'cause we're family, but even if we weren't family, we'll still support him anyway. That's
Right.
that's just who we are,
Yeah.
Absolutely,
Actually,
absolutely.
he'll be
And
fighting. He'll be fighting June 10th at the Robstown Fairgrounds. So I mean, if anybody
yeah,
wants to go check it out, I think it's going to
yeah,
sell. See,
definitely.
a little plug there. But
Nice, definitely.
yeah. So I mean, yeah, June 10th he'll be fighting at the Robstown Fairgrounds. It'll be fun. It's gonna be, and actually there's gonna be a ton of great fighters there, man. I mean, there's a ton of great fighters that are out there. So get out there, man.
Hell
Get
yeah,
out
man. I mean,
there.
that's definitely, guys, go out and support this man, because if you haven't looked up his son, look his son up. He's really awesome, man. I've been watching his fights, and he's really doing his thing, and I think it's an amazing thing because, like I said, I mean, it's bringing a good light to Corpus,
Right,
and anytime that happens, it's a good thing, because
right,
a
right.
lot of people want to spin things so bad that it makes the place look bad, but like I don't remember Corpus being bad like that,
yeah.
Yeah, for real.
Well,
I'm
I
like,
mean,
what?
I mean, it's just like you were saying, you got to take yourself out of those negative places, whatever, and go do something positive, right? So, like his
Hmm.
son he told me just today, he said, my son's training 3 times a day at a gym. You know what I mean? Just to get trained. It's just like us as musicians, right? When we go jam out at Leo's house, we have a studio there. When we're practicing, we practice 3-4 hours, man, sometimes longer.
Yeah.
Because we're putting in the work. You know what I'm saying? And
Yes.
and for a positive outcome. Don't get me wrong. I mean, we're still sitting
Absolutely.
there. We drink beer, whatever, smoke cigarettes, talk, laugh. We do all that good stuff. But at the same time, we're still putting in the work
Yeah,
to get to that light at the end of the tunnel. Let's try this one, dude. Some songs will fly, some won't. You know what I mean? And
yeah.
there's a lot of songs we have to squash, because and then we have to start over again, from scratch. And luckily now that we have these nice recorders and everything like that, your phones can record pretty nicely now. You can
Yeah.
actually, hey, record that shit. We're sitting here drinking, and we're kind of getting buzzed a little bit, and hey, record it because we're gonna forget it when we come back, next week. So
And it still comes out different. No matter what it's recorded, it comes out way different anyways. It's
yeah,
like,
it does.
right. It is what it is.
Fuck yeah, man. Yeah, like with me, when I'm gonna do my podcast, gonna get my podcast stuff set up and all that, I already know, like, okay, today's podcast day, so I can't smoke my dro. Like, if I smoke that shit,
Yeah.
I'm gonna be sitting like, what the fuck's going on? I know I gotta smoke regular shit. And I'm like, okay.
Why is everybody quiet?
I'm like, because I do this all the time. I when I first started doing podcasting, it was with a radio station called RGV Titan Radio.
Mhm.
And
Mhm.
I loved the concept that they had, where the whole thing was supposed to be a radio station just for local music.
Yeah.
And it was an internet radio station, and it kind of just didn't work, I
Yeah.
mean, it's really hard to make something like that work, not having enough backing,
Right.
So
Yeah, most definitely.
So, I mean, that's where I got my start with podcasting, and it was just audio. I was like, I want more. I want more to it. Because I always looked up to people like Matt Pinfield and Trunk and all them, because Eddie Trunk, because I was that kid. I sitting there reading Circus Magazine and Hit Parader and Metal Edge and just all this knowledge and learning about music and all that, because I wanted to do this one day, and it took one of my friends to remind me that, because I totally forgot about this dream that I had to do something with musicians and interviews,
Right. And you're
and
doing it.
so
Doing a great
I
job.
really enjoy this. You know,
You did a good job of it as well, too, my brother.
well, thank you.
Oh yeah.
Yes, sir.
But yeah, man, and it made perfect sense. I'm like, I already hang out with the bands already. I already support them. I already know about them. So it makes sense to do a podcast. Yes, you know.
Right.
So yeah, it's a little weird. Podcasting is kind of weird, you know.
Yeah.
And a lot of mine are live every time. It's live, live, live. That's why I do it on YouTube, because that way a musician can be a musician.
Exactly.
You know,
I can't be a musician right now. I'd be like, yeah, let's park it up.
you know, because like all the rules that Facebook has and all that is just not. So
Yeah.
YouTube doesn't care. There's a lot of podcasts I have with guys that they're just cussing left up storm, boom, 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 F bombs everywhere. They don't care, you know.
Yeah.
They're like,
Yeah.
you know. So I like it like that because I don't believe having restraints on an artist. Like that's just makes
Right.
no sense.
Yeah.
You know,
And
I've
just-
seen other podcasts that do that. They're like, okay, you can't say this and you can't say that. And I'm like, then why the fuck did you bring them on?
Yeah.
Like, why are you gonna, if you know there's a band who in their own music, they cuss through the whole shit, why the fuck are you gonna bring them on and tell them, oh, don't do this?
Right. For real. Are they going to change for your show or what?
Right? I'm like, the fuck? Makes no sense to me, man. So that's my
real.
main thing. I tell all artists, just be yourself. I want that because I want the people who tune into this stuff, I want them to understand it like I did when I was a kid. I
Yeah.
wanted to know the things about that, how the musicians that I idolized, like Scott Weiland, man, fucking rest in peace,
Yeah.
man. But he's one of my big heroes, and
Yeah.
I studied a lot about him, and his influences and all that stuff. And he was a really interesting person, and he can write a fucking song, man. That dude can write a fucking song.
A ton of
You know?
them.
One of them, yeah.
Yeah. He wrote that
But-
Chupame song, right?
Huh?
He wrote that Chupame song.
I think so, yeah.
Actually, it's to find it. It sounds like he says Chupame.
Oh.
Hey, when you hear it, you won't unhear it, dude. It's gonna be stuck there forever.
yeah. You messed it up for me already, dude.
Chupame,
Yes,
I call
damn
the
it.
Chupame song. Listen to it, Plush. Dude, it is so funny when you hear it, and then at the end of it, he's like, Chupame. It's too
Fuck
funny.
yeah,
That's why I
dude.
do not sing, because I cannot sing worth the.
All right. Fuck yeah, dude. But yeah, man, and that's why I like to tell musicians, like when I'm talking with them, like, hey, what would be your influences and stuff like that, and I go back to the band that I had last weekend. I mean, I wish I had been able to prep them because they've never done this ever. They've
Right.
never been interviewed. They were new, you know, to it. So I'm like, I just kind of, you know, and I was like, So, but I told them already, it's okay, guys, you know, it's your first, you know, you're learning this stuff, you're getting the swing of things, you know. First time I was ever in front of a freaking microphone, I was kind of a little like quiet about it too, you know.
Yeah.
So,
Right. It's kind of
But-
like giving that one band their first start. You know what I mean? You got to give them a break. Give them, you know what I mean? Like you guys, like you said, it was the first time doing an interview or like whatever.
yeah,
You have to walk them through it, but it's you know, after that, it's
yeah. And that's what I told them. I said, you know, I got your back still. I will support you guys,
Yeah.
you know,
Right.
because I like what you guys are doing. And I understand. I mean, I said the first dozen interviews are going to be awkward as shit.
Yeah.
You know, because it's one thing to open up while you're playing music, but it's a whole different thing when the music's not playing and you're literally just talking and opening up.
Yeah.
There's a whole different world there.
Yeah.
So I get it.
yeah, for sure. I mean,
You
like
know?
what you do takes a lot of fucking guts too, because I can bullshit for a little bit, but to have to do it all the time, to have the materials to do it over and over, man. That's another type of talent as well. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So much respect to you for that, and as well as Don.
Yeah.
Don podcast.
And I mean, I do by podcasting too. And when I do of course, I do the alien stuff, the Alien Strand podcast. When I do that, I mean, I do it unscripted. Everything's unscripted. So I just hit record and just go. And that's how I do it. You know, of course, you know, I go through my research and stuff like that. And I'm reading a lot. I tell a lot of stories and stuff, but like what we're doing here, this is raw, man. This is like raw,
Right.
straight up raw. And I've done a couple like this too. And then I like them too, because it's like, you don't know what somebody's going to say or what's going to happen. You know,
Exactly.
it's unscripted, really. You know, it's like, okay, so, you know, but it's sometimes it's good to prep somebody who's kind of nervous, you know, especially when they're gonna, you know, talk or whatever. I remember it was my first gig, man. I was like, oh, I'm only gonna play one gig. This is what I told Anthony Robert. I said, hey, I'm only gonna play one gig and that's it. And then I had my stage day, whatever. He goes, all right. So I was the only singer, the only guitar player, you know, and then I had a bass player and a drummer. That was it. So when I went up there, I mean, I got in front of the mic and guess what happens? You freaking freeze, man. It's like,
Yeah.
you know, and I'm, mind you, my first time up there, I was 23. You know, I wasn't young. I was 23, 24 still. But, you know, I was freaked out. I was scared. And then my hands were shaking and, you know, I was trying to play and I was like all scared. You know, my voice was shaking and, you know, it's just one of those things. But after, you know, you do it a few times, you know, 5, 10 times, whatever, that kind of, it starts going away. It goes away. And just like when you were trying to tell about those guys, you know, once you do a few of them, you know, it's going to be like a nice straight ride. You know what I mean? Especially when you're raw.
I had on my birthday show, I had as well as Centipede, my nephew's son playing for that band. My nephew and his other son, they got a little rap group, or it's a good rap group. You know what I mean? But his son, it was the first time he'd ever been on stage, and my brother told me, he goes, hey Dominic, never been on stage, man. He's kind of nervous. Go talk to him. So I was like, all right. So I walked up there and I said, hey, Mio, you all right? He's like, nervous? He's like, yeah, a little bit. I said, look, first of all, have fun. Second, you fuck up, keep going. Don't ever stop. And I said, and most important, have fun. That's all it's about, is have fun. You know what I mean?
Yeah. That's it.
You know?
I mean, can't really say more than that. I mean,
and man, he tore it the fuck up, man. He acted like man, dude. I tell you what, when they started, he just popped out of nowhere, and I was just like, holy fuck, this little boy.
He was all over the stage. He was like all over the stage, running around in circles, and he was like going into it and telling the story while he was rapping. I was like, wow, this is I couldn't believe it was his first time, you know.
It blew my mind, dude. And you can see some of those videos. And my wife showed a few of the videos. Yeah. But man, it blows my mind. Yeah, it was really cool.
That's what's up. Yeah, man. Send me the links for that. For him, how I can get in contact with him. I have a couple of friends down here that are into the whole the rap scenes and all that down here.
Nice.
And I can link him up with them.
Nice.
Dude, he's got a song called Ocean Drive, which is about cruising down Ocean Drive. You know what I mean?
Dude, that's
is under Merc Rock, because he used to jam with Merc. I don't know if anybody out there knows Merc, but good dude. He lost his life to COVID, but really good dude. But that's who my nephew was with. But you can look him up under Mr. Rilla and check out his song, the Ocean Drive. You'll like it. It's nice.
Yeah, I will. I'll check it out, because I'm like there's a really cool band that's down here. It's they're called Popular Loner. Mm-hmm. And so the guys are the one guy, Freddie Honda, he does rap, but he also loves rock. So now he's doing this rock stuff that has rap thrown into it and all that. And man, it's actually pretty legit. I'll send you a couple links to their videos and stuff.
Sure.
These guys are really amazing band. They actually hit me up the other day and they gave me an opportunity of a lifetime. They want me to go out. They're doing like a big festival out there on the island.
Wow.
And they want me to go out there with my podcast gear where I can interview the comedians and the artists and all that there. So I was like, fuck yeah.
Give me just a second. I'm gonna disappear for a second. Hold on. Y'all go ahead.
Right.
Yeah, so I mean, that's cool, dude. When you can take your podcast out, your equipment out there, and just set up a
Yeah.
little tent and just start interviewing, man. I mean, shoot, you can't ask for anything better than that, brother.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
what I'm saying. I'm like, bet, and it's on the island, so I'll be on the beach, be like, yes,
yeah,
this is my
can.
home. You know, but yeah, man. I mean, so I've been doing this shit for better part of like at least 6 years now.
Wow, wow.
I really love it. I really do. I really enjoy being able to sit down with bands and just let them open up, because musicians need that. There's so many people that are out there that say, I love what this person's doing, but they want to mask who they are.
Yeah,
They don't want them to be themselves. They're like, oh, be this, and this. Nah, fuck that, man. Musicians need to be themselves. I mean,
yeah, yeah,
fuck that. Like,
yeah,
but that's why I want my podcast to be like this, raw, like this,
yeah.
because anything can happen on it,
Yeah, it
you know?
needs to be raw, man. That's what people like to see anyway. You know what I mean? They like to see the rawness of podcasts or anything because you never know what could happen. You know, when somebody's gonna
Mhm.
say something different or whatever that they never heard before or do something different. But yeah, man, that's what it's about. And this is a great podcast, by the way, and I mean, when we're done today, we're gonna spread it like wildfire, of course, and
Oh, show.
get you some more people out there, and
Yeah.
Definitely. Yeah,
yeah,
let the spread the word to the guys out there in Corpus to hit me up. I want to bring these guys on here.
right on,
I've got
Yeah, most definitely will do.
I have Luna and Hector. They're coming on later this year.
right on.
I think they're coming
Those
on in
guys.
like May or June, something like that.
Okay.
July,
Yeah,
somewhere
you know
around
what,
there.
Hector? Remember seeing Hector when you remember Mortality?
Yes.
Yes, I remember seeing Hector when they had what was the band? It was wasn't Freestyle, it was the band before that, I can't remember. But man, I used to see those guys, him, Renee, and all of them sitting up in the front during that like EJs back in the day.
Yeah.
All just jamming out. Those guys are fucking amazing, dude. I've known Hector for years and years and years now, man. Another
Yeah.
amazing musician.
Was it Free Skate? Free Skate?
Free
Is that
State,
I wanted
Free
there was
State,
another one before that.
Free State, right?
Apparition or abrasion.
Abrasion. Yeah.
Abrasion. Yeah.
Abrasion is what it was. Yeah. Yeah, those guys were good.
Or we're gonna make Hector's gonna watch this and he's gonna be like, oh, they know all my bands.
Too funny. I like that.
Right.
Right on.
But fuck yeah, dude. That's what's up, man. And that's the thing I love about the Corpus scene is that bands can do that. They can literally be like, this person was in this band, this band, this band, this band, you know? And it's tripped out because there's some people down here that they don't even know what their bros band was, you know? I'm like,
Wow. You play?
right? Oh, dude, I see that a lot, dude. It's fucking cracks me up, dude. It cracks me up when I see him. And I've seen it in a lot of places, though. I've seen it in a lot of scenes. Somebody be like, oh, I got a band. And they're like, you play? And they're
Yeah.
like, I've known you for 20 years, man.
I've invited you to do a bunch of shows, man.
Right.
Right? Oh
Never
my
done.
God. That's the best, right? When they say that answer, what you play? Like, what do you think I invited you to? What the
Right? Really?
like? Yeah, man, it's pretty cool. But this time I usually let all the bands start giving a shout out to whoever they want to give a shout out to, or any band pages, whatever.
Go ahead,
Yes.
John.
Well, like I said, just I give a shout to all of our band members, from COD, Leo Pool there, Jason Santos, all of our wives too that put up with our bullshit too, they're like, they follow along with us and they're our biggest supporters too at the same time, TK's wife, my wife Kelly, and we're just, and then Santos' wife. So I give shout outs to them and to everybody that supports us really in reality, there's a lot of folks out there that go to our shows, they wear our shirts, and they, support us regardless, and, just, I just support everybody, brother, everybody. We just kind of love everybody out there, and like I said, if you want to go to COD, just go to us there on Facebook and C.O.D.Band. Same thing with Spotify, same thing with Instagram, and also YouTube. So you can find our stuff there as well,
Definitely. DK, you got any shout outs or anything?
Just all my bros. I mean, you, my wife, of course, my son, all my family for putting them up for my shit for all these years. You know what I mean? Tony Gomez, Adon, and all them, man. David Escobedo. I mean, all those bands out there, man. I mean, they're all amazing, and I mean, shit, love watching them. Annihilators will be playing here soon, so.
Oh, damn! When are they playing there?
Actually, this Friday or Saturday at the House of Rock.
Oh, damn it!
I'll record stuff for you, brother. I'll be there. But yeah, I mean, all those guys out there, Scar the World, and all those guys, man. I mean, love them all. I mean, shit.
Hell yeah, man.
Brotherhood, man. So we're all in this together.
Hell yeah, man. Yeah. So then, I'd like to give thanks again to my sponsors, Rodeo Barbecue out in Alamo, Texas. Go out there, give them some love, take care of them. They'll take care of you. Also to Concert Culture, like I said, if you need some stuff done for lighting, sound, all that stuff like that, go ahead and give them a call. They're going to be the people that are going to take care of you. They are the people that will give you A+ sound and A+ lighting. It will make you feel like you are a rock star. So
yeah,
hit these guys up. They have all different kinds of packages and stuff like that to fit anybody's budget. So hit them up. They got you taken care of. You can hit up them on Concert Culture on their web pages on Facebook, Instagram, or you can hit up Matt Rios on Facebook or Frank X Salinas, and they can take care of everything you need and make sure they take care of your budgeting. Let them know that Jackal's Corner sent you guys.
yeah.
Also, I want to thank, obviously, I want to give a big thank you to my wife. A lot of people don't know, but she is the big part of this, because while I sit here, she just keeps getting my beers for me, making sure everything's going good, keeping the dogs as quiet as she can.
Nice.
So she's amazing. The real MVP here.
My wife was actually doing the same thing.
Definitely.
You see my eyes water, like, hey, grab me another one.
Mine's asleep. Nah, she's waiting on me. I was like, she goes, bro, I brought you a 6-pack. I was like, okay, as soon as I finish, I go drink me a beer.
Just a 6-pack.
There you go.
Yeah, that's all I need.
But yeah, man. Do you guys got any shows coming up, or?
We're gonna try to hit up the studio, record those songs that we need to get down. We try not to play too much around here, because then it's you've already seen us, you know what I mean? And then it's kind of hard to get them out the next show. So we kind of space out our shows a little bit, you know what I mean? And but we're like I said, we're gonna be writing more material. We're gonna put ourselves out there a little bit more and shoot some more videos. We got, I think, 3 more videos coming out. So
yeah, as soon as we record these songs, of course, I'll be shooting the music videos for them. So I'll go see me at Led's Productions. You guys want a music video, I'll shoot it out for you. But anyway, that's my production page, to where I make all the music videos. But as soon as we get those recorded, we're gonna get the music videos out, and then we're just gonna start putting them out there. You know what I mean? And try to get out a little bit more. Of course, we want to go to San Antonio. We'd love to go to the Valley. Of course, you're gonna hook us up there, brother. Get us up at the Valley, and then we'll go out there and jam out there, and have a great time, man. Hang out with you, and maybe do a live podcast. Like, hey, man, everything's sky's the limit.
It is. Well, it literally is, because my podcast gear is super portable. It fits in a backpack.
Beautiful,
badass.
I'm like this. See, this is what happens when a musician becomes a podcaster.
Mm-hmm.
We've already figured all the Tetris shit out. We're like, okay, this is all I need to take now.
Right, bro. We definitely know how to pack shit up in a fucking like U-Haul or whatever, man, or a Honda or some shit.
Yep.
I mean, only a drummer can put a fucking big old cave with big old drum set in a Honda. You know what I mean? Like, everything goes in a certain way.
Yeah, right. Yeah, dude. Being a musician, it teaches you how to do that shit, man.
Yeah,
I've seen people put a whole entire drum set in a what is that? The Fiesta, a little bitty fucking car. Wow. I was like, what the fuck, bro?
And still have room for one more bro, right?
Right.
Oh, and then one thing I want to add, probably before we go, I don't know if we're gonna go here, but when we play our live sets, when we're out there live, we throw our gear out there, man. So we got full stacks. It's gonna be loud, so get ready for that. I mean, as we get older, we've been playing loud music for a long time. We can't hear ourselves no more, so we just crank it all the way to 9 or 10 now. before
never work anywhere.
Fuck yeah, man.
yeah, before it was like it was 4 or 5. Now it's like 9. You know what I mean? Like, no, it's not loud enough. I can't hear you. Turn
It
up.
goes to 11.
Dude, man, that's what's up, man. But yeah, man. I also want to give a shout out to all my listeners, man. You guys are amazing. You guys are so amazing. But yeah, there's a lot of people out here, especially my buddy Chris Cyclops, man. This guy, I wasn't going to bring it back. When I left it last time, this wasn't gonna happen again. I was like, I'm done. I'm gonna like let it rest. And he was like, bro, bring it back, bro. And every time he would see me, every time he was that bro.
Oh,
every
wow.
time, hey, bro, when you gonna bring it back, bro?
Wow.
I'm like, I don't know, man. When you gonna bring it back, bro? You need to bring it back, bro.
Yeah.
And
Wow.
Cool. Good to have friends like that.
It's good. Yeah, I was just gonna say that. It's good to have somebody like that.
I love that guy to death, man. Yeah, this guy, he checks on me every day. Every day he calls me every day.
Nice.
Hey man, are you good, man? How is your health? Because I've had a lot of heart attacks and strokes. I've beat cancer twice, and
wow.
And so he knows I have a lot of health issues. And this guy, without fail, every day he calls me every day. And he's like, hey, man, how you feeling today? How was your rest, man? Did you get good rest? Did you have a seizure today? Any of this stuff?
That's a true best friend right there. Like,
right?
100%, man. It's good to have somebody like that in your life.
Yeah, dude. I love that dude to death, man. I tell him, dude, fuck yeah, dude. That's fucking cool.
That's bro love. That's bro love.
Right? Like
there.
a motherfucker.
Yeah.
But I also want to give a shout out to my boy Mike, Mike Ward. He has this business for his 3D prints. If I had them over here, I would show you them. I have them on my shelf. My wife, he's actually gonna get up and get the stuff that he makes. So he does these 3D prints. He's made me a lot of cool stuff. Actually, this ashtray that I got is one of the ones he made me, the herb leaf. But he does these too, man. Check these things out. Like he does these freaking dragons. These guys can move around and all that.
Wow.
And then because I love unicorns and mermaids and stuff, he made this one for me.
Wow. Awesome.
Yeah, dude. So he has a business. It's Fire Prints by Ward on Instagram, Etsy, all that stuff. He also does custom stuff, so he could do some cool custom stuff for you guys too. Just let him know.
Nice.
Or anybody listening, he got his stuff down pat, man. I dig that guy, and he started doing this. I mean, I think he's been doing this for maybe the better part of a year.
Yeah. Wow.
And he's already at that level of doing that. I'm like, man, you found something. And I'm one of those that I believe if you find a bro who finds his spark, if you will.
Yeah.
We have to encourage that shit and make that flame bigger and bigger for them, just because that's the duties of a bro. Like,
right, for sure.
You know,
hey, well, ask him if he can make a 3D print of me, but taller. A full one.
Right.
Maybe a little younger.
That's funny.
With the same ass. It's funny, every time we're in practice, I get out from behind my drums and he's like putting up his guitar. I'm like, good job.
Damn, man.
I like that riff.
Hey man, that's how we play, man, through the whole time. We're always talking, we do the football thing, or it's just, oh my God, we're always just joking and laughing, but it's about having fun, brother. That's what it's about.
Hell yes. And I was gonna say, man, I mean, I almost forgot. I mean, we're talking about people of Corpus Christi and have done big things for like the area and stuff like that. And we got Marcus Lil, Shattered Sun, now with El Nino.
Oh yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
You
Cool
know,
dude, man.
Chief is cool, man. I love that guy, man. I remember
Seen
there
him
was
at
one
Google.
time
Go ahead.
they were playing at Theo's, and before they were getting on, he's like, man, it wasn't it was slim pickings on the audience. Some shows are like that.
Yeah.
And he was like, damn, dude, this sucks. He's like, I don't know if I could do this anymore, man. And I was like, nah, fuck that shit, dude. You get on that stage and you fucking rock it. You're gonna be big
Oh
one
yeah.
day. And he was like, nah, bro. I'm like, what? I was like, you're gonna be big, bro.
Now look at him.
Now look at him, man.
Playing big ass shows, man. More than props to him, man. I mean, shit.
Yeah, dude. I mean, and I see the way people are like that don't know him, that not even from Texas, just like people that don't know him.
Right.
And they're like, oh, he just got it handed to him. No, he didn't.
No, he
I was
worked
like,
his
that
ass off.
motherfucker busted his ass to get to where he's at. He didn't just know. He came, not only that, he came from Alice, fucking Texas.
Yep.
Like, what the fuck?
People are going, where the fuck is Alice?
Right?
I think you talk about Marcos, right? Marcus?
Yeah, Marcus.
Yeah, he told me he used to practice in Agua Dulce too.
Yeah.
They used to practice there because I have some photos of him and our band. I had a band called Awkward Factor 8 in the early 2000s, 2002. And I found a bunch of photos, right, of him. They played with us at the Blue Ghost there downtown where the Pier 99 is at now.
Yeah.
So they played with us there, and I had a bunch of photos of him, and I tagged him on all the photos. So I hope he grabbed those. I hope he saw those photos. It's when everybody was young, youngsters, jamming out. But man, they kicked ass back then. It was Shattered Sun.
Dude, I've always loved Shattered Sun. The first time I saw them, I was like, the fuck.
Yep.
Saw them at Zeros. When they first started out, and then we saw them at the Boardwalk a long time ago, right here off the Staples. But
yeah,
man, they always put on a hell of a show, man.
Oh fuck yeah!
I mean,
for the longest time, my wife called Marcus Coconut because he had the coconut shampoo. And when he'd start fucking windmilling and the fucking thing smell like coconuts.
Too funny.
Oh wow.
So anytime my wife would be like trying to tell me about Marcus, she'd forget his name. She'd be like, coconut.
Coconut.
I was like, oh, Marcus. All right, I got it.
That's hilarious.
That's
He's got his own name now with y'all anyway.
All right.
That's cool.
But yeah, man, he was a very cool cat, man, and like I'm hoping that when he gets done touring with Il Nino, because they're about to kick off a tour again, I believe.
Yeah.
I'm hoping that Shattered Sun will come back.
Yeah.
I'm hoping they'll maybe put an album out or something.
Yeah.
I would really love to see them again.
Yeah, for sure. Like to see Sons of Texas get back together too.
Yeah. That's never happening.
Never happening. That's what I'm hearing. Man, that's terrible. Those guys are fucking amazing. That's funny.
That will never happen. that you have a better chance of David Gilmour and Roger Waters making nothing.
Point taken.
Yeah. Okay.
Too funny. Whoops.
But yeah, man. With that being said, I think we'll go ahead and close this one out and everything. Man, it's been so fun. I think this is one of my funnest podcasts I've had, man. I've loved it.
Nice.
Every minute of it. Appreciate it, man. Thank you for having us on, man. It was a blast. I mean, it was really cool.
Hell yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you, guys. And yeah, man, we'll stay in touch, man. Maybe I'll make a trip out there to Corpus for one of your shows, and I'll bring my stuff so I can shoot it live and all that.
Right on.
Most definitely, man. And as a return, you need a place to stay. We got you, man.
Yep.
Thank you, my brother.
100%, man. If anybody wants to go check out my son or look him up on Facebook, his name's Travis Crawford. You know what I mean? Or you can go to YouTube or Google and just type in his name and everything will come up on him and stuff like that. So yeah, I want to go support and go like his page or like his stuff, whatever. I'd appreciate it. I'm sure he would too.
Oh, absolutely, man. And he does deserve it, man. He's amazing.
Thank you.
But with that being said, I want to say thank you again to my podcast sponsors, to the people who listen, and most of all to C.O.D. for coming on and spending some time with me. And again, I tell you guys, go out, support your local businesses, your artists, your poets, all of them. just because just because they're not doing what you're doing in the art scene does not mean that they don't deserve your support. They work just as hard. It takes a lot of work to do a lot of stuff of artistry. So give love to these guys, man. Support this stuff. And most of all, support your local venues. They are the places that give us a place to play. So when you go to a show, make sure you buy yourself a beer. And if you don't drink, cool, buy a water or buy a soda. Support your venue. You know, let's take care of the people that are taking care of us, and all that. So with that being said, also again, look up my buddy Mike Ward on Fire Prince by Ward, at Instagram, Facebook, and Etsy. If you are in the local Valley area, just message him and he will actually hand deliver the product to you, so you don't have to pay shipping and all that. So with that being said, I want to say join me next week, where I'm going to have my buddy Harvey Estrada. He is a comedian down here in the RGV, and I am going to have his lovely lady with him, Antonea. She is going to talk about some of her poetry. And little tip is that she just got 2 of her poems published in a book. So I think that's really fucking awesome.
Oh yeah.
And I cannot wait to bring them on. So join me next week with them. I want to say again, thank you, COD, for coming on.
Thanks for having us. Everybody out there, thank you.
Thank you, brother. Thank you. I appreciate your podcast. We're going to share it out there. Heck yeah. You're the man, brother.
Definitely. And with that being said, thank you again, guys. Peace, love, and unity. Take care of each other, guys. Till next time.
Show love, not hate. Show love.
Show love. That's right.
Yes.
Everywhere, to anybody, everybody.
Yes. And good night, guys.
Good night, brother.
Good night, man. Thank you.
Yes.
COD.